I used to love my morning coffee until it stopped loving me back. The bloating, the discomfort, it just wasn't worth it anymore. Then I found Everyday Dose, coffee with benefits. It's real coffee blended with mushrooms, collagen, and nootropics. Now I get my morning ritual without the crash or the discomfort. The Black Friday sale is on. Get 61% off your first Coffee Plus starter kit, a free A2 probiotic creamer, and over $100 in free gifts. Plus, you could win $100 cash or even get your entire order refunded. Head to everydaydose.com/podcast or use code podcast at checkout.
Marriott Bonvoy is the official hotel partner of US Soccer. Join Marriott Bonvoy today to get closer to the game with exclusive perks, unforgettable experiences, and benefits that go beyond the pitch. Spring Hill Suites, part of Marriott Bonvoy, offers complimentary hot breakfast and spacious all-suite accommodations, perfect for the whole team, with room for up to 6 guests. Make your next getaway a win. Learn more at springhillsuites.marriott.com.
If you're an HVAC technician and a call comes in, Grainger knows that you need a partner that helps you find the right product, fast and hassle-free. And you know that when the first problem of the day is a clanking blower motor, there's no need to break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product details, you're confident you'll soon have everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Paranormal experiences don't really work to a timescale, and therefore we invite you to listen to a Dark Minisode. It's Kev jumping in before any sort of introduction just to say this may be a minisode, but it is extremely dark. There are mentions of abuse, unaliving. It's something if you listen with kids, listen by yourself first. Hello everyone, and welcome back to this week's installment of a Dark Minisode. Firstly, a huge thank you to everyone who's reached out with your comments, your feedback, and your suggestions for how the show can grow moving forward. Also, as ever, a massive thank you to our team over at Patreon, who have built, in my opinion, the best paranormal community online anywhere. And as I've mentioned previously, over these holiday months, we are going to be inundated with adverts, as is every podcast that advertisers want. So therefore, our lowest level now includes ad-free access to episodes. You can head over to patreon.com/The Dark Paranormal or click the link in the show notes, and we are, of course, offering a free week trial at all of our levels, so you can go and take a look and see what you think of our Patreon. But right now, of course, we're here for your midweek appetizer before we reach our episode 6 of The Dark Paranormal Season 22 on Friday. And today's minisode has been sent to us with its own title. So, please, take some time out for yourself, get a warm drink, and sit back and listen to The Dark Minisode, branded by a demon. Hello, Kevin and listeners. For this submission, you can call me Bella. I'm 22 years old, living what I pray is a peaceful life in rural Missouri. At least for now. But the peace I have today was not something I grew up with. In fact, I don't think I ever knew what peace truly felt like until just a few years ago. Because from the time when I was 5 years old, something dark decided I belonged to it. It began in small ways, shadows that shouldn't have existed slipping along my bedroom walls. I would wake up gasping as if someone had just removed their hands from my throat. I tried to convince myself it was just my imagination. But the shadows seemed to stop, and they would watch me whenever I noticed them. Like they were learning me. They were just waiting for the right time. Then my mother got sick, terminally. Our lives were shattered. The home that once felt so warm became so heavy, suffocating. My father found out we were going to lose the house, and the man who had always been my protector became a stranger. He shut down inside himself, and darkness filled the space where hope used to live. His darkness gained full access to our lives. I was 5 years old, learning how to be an adult. We moved into a rundown apartment in downtown St. Louis, the kind of place where the windows are always cold and the hallways absorb light instead of reflecting it. My room was right off a narrow hallway, and my bed faced a deep, unnaturally dark closet. The door never seemed to sit flush. It was always slightly cracked open, as if something inside needed just a sliver to watch me. Strange sounds came from inside of it. Breathing, scratching, rustling, like someone shifting their weight. Small things would disappear into that closet and never return. Sometimes I'd feel a cold fingertip trace along my ankle as I tried to sleep, only for there to be nothing there when I'd kick and sit up trembling. The things parents just say, "Oh, she's been through a lot, it's an overactive imagination." One night, I swear I heard something crawling on the ceiling above my bed. I watched dust slowly fall from the seams between the tiles, like grit shaken loose by the movement. That closet wasn't just a space, it was an entrance. I now believe that closet was a portal, one created by our own grief. My father's condition worsened. He lost weight, fast, bones jutting sharply beneath skin, and lay awake for nights at a time, eyes wide and yellowed, whispering under his breath words I didn't recognize. His voice didn't always sound like his. Sometimes it sounded like many people speaking in unison. A low, rumbling growl coming from deep inside him. My mother came from a house of abuse as a child. So, with everything going on, all she knew how to do was shut down. I learned how to hold my own, how to survive. Or at least I thought I did. I learned how to self-isolate my thoughts. My father's eyes terrified me the most. When he looked at me, it felt like someone else was staring through him, calculating. Like the thing inside him already knew my soul inside and out. It would know things I hadn't said out loud, my insecurities, words flying out of my father's mouth that a father would never say to his child. Insults, criticisms, coldness. One night I woke to the kitchen faucet dripping, every drop echoing like a hammer in the silent apartment. It was deathly cold. It felt like you'd woken up in a morgue. I stepped into the living room and I saw my father stood, motionless, his head bent at a sharp angle, his face twisted into a kind of smile that didn't match any emotion a human can feel. His eyes glowed a slick, burning yellow. Eyes I will never forget. They haunt my dreams to this day. And in a voice that rattled the cabinets, he said, "We will have you too." I tried to run, but my body moved wrong, like someone else jerked my limbs for me. Somehow I made it to my room, slamming the door as everything behind me roared. I woke the next morning tucked in, as if nothing had ever happened, except for the bruises forming around my wrist, shaped like fingers. Bruises I would soon become used to having. The haunting didn't stop, it only grew. One day after school around 6th grade, I walked inside and I knew I wasn't alone. The entire apartment felt like it was holding its breath. My father's keys lay on the counter, but it was silent. A terrible, watchful silence. The kind where it feels like something or someone is ready to pounce. Then I found him. He was sat hunched on his bed with a gun in his mouth. He didn't react when I whispered his name. He didn't blink. He didn't breathe. It was like his soul had left his body hours ago. With hands shaking violently, I stepped forward, gently removed the gun from his mouth, unloaded it, and he still hadn't moved a millimeter or even acknowledged me. He sat, frozen. Hours passed. My mother came home and suddenly he blinked, stood, and asked what we wanted for dinner. Like the day had simply reset. Like my most traumatic afternoon ever had never happened. Am I going crazy? Did I really witness that? My father later confessed that he dreamed of 3 hooded figures stood over his bed, promising to drag me to where they'd already taken pieces of him. I didn't need him to describe them, because I'd seen them too. Every night. Tall, 7 feet, hooded heads brushing my ceiling, standing against my closet, still, silent, waiting. By 8th grade, the activity wasn't just threatening anymore, it was invasive. One Friday, I fell asleep early only to wake to rustling inside the closet. A dim blue glow seeped through the cracks of the door. My breath stuttered, and I pulled the blanket up to my chin, frozen. But something compelled me to move, like it was calling me to the door. Something half familiar. I did so and my fingers trembled on the doorknob. I opened it, and I was staring into a mirror. Except it wasn't a mirror. It was me, my own face, expressionless, but with endless black pits where my eyes should be. Its head slightly tilted, its mouth stretched far too wide, its jaw almost unhinged far past anything human. I told you we'd get you. We'd get you. We'd get you. The voice vibrated through my bones, deep, layered, and then a rotted, blood-curdling scream, and it lunged. Its hands wrapped around my throat, squeezing, nails burning into my skin like metal pulled from fire. I woke up choking, tears flooding my eyes. A dream. Well, that's what I told myself. Yes, the holidays is indeed a time to put smiles on other people's faces, but what about putting a nice, relaxed one on yours? Prioritize your rest, your comfort, and your connection with the holiday season with Avocado Green Mattress. Avocado products transform your home into a peaceful, grounding retreat made with certified organic and sustainably sourced materials. From breathable bedding to handcrafted mattresses, Avocado is all about true comfort, so you can rest, recharge, and wake up refreshed all season long. And every product is thoughtfully made with both you and the planet in mind, so you can feel good about the comfort and quality you're bringing to your home. Dream of better, better for you, better for the planet. And with easy financing options with a firm to make your purchase more accessible, you can prioritize rest and recharge with Avocado's organic comfort. Head to avocadogreenmattress.com today to create your natural oasis and save big during their holiday sale. Avocado. Dream of better. Well, the holidays are almost here, and if you still have names on your list, don't panic, because Uncommon Goods makes holiday shopping stress-free and joyful. They have thousands of one-of-a-kind gifts you literally won't find anywhere else. And you'll find those presents that say, I know you, I know what you like, I know what you love. and the chances of you giving someone a present they already have are exceptionally small. There is an artistry set that I've just bought for my little niece, and I know it's a one-of-a-kind and she will adore it. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the US. Many are crafted by independent artists and small businesses. So when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting those artists, those small businesses, and every purchase is a chance to choose something remarkable and feel good about where your money goes. Because with every purchase you make with Uncommon Goods, they give back $1 to a non-profit partner of your choice, donating more than $3.1 million to date. And they have something for everyone: mums, dads, kids, teens, book lovers, gardeners, mixologists, you name it. So don't wait. Make this holiday the year you give something truly unforgettable. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/darkparanormal. That's uncommongoods.com/darkparanormal for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods. We're all out of the ordinary. Today's episode of The Dark Paranormal is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Because Progressive offers discounts for paying in full, owning a home, and more. Plus, you can count on their great customer service to help you when you need it. So your dollar goes a long way. Visit progressive.com to see if you could save on car insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Companies and affiliates' potential savings will vary, not available in all states or situations. But the faint, round bruises on my neck the very next morning told the truth. I ignored its warning, thinking I was going insane. From that point forward, I felt something inside me change. Like a door had opened somewhere deep in my soul, and something had walked through. My body deteriorated, my memory fractured, my thoughts not my own. This is shortly after my father had found the Catholic Church. We attended, prayed, tried. Holy water bottles were hurled off shelves when we tried to pray. Doors would slam violently during rosaries. Sometimes the pipes in the walls would moan in long, agonizing screeches, whilst the cross on my wall slowly turned itself upside down. We would see mimics of each other, like when the others weren't home. It was like we lived in a sick, haunted house. By 16, I was sick like my father was before. My bones sharp beneath my skin, my vision blurry. Blackouts. Moments where time unspooled, and I'd wake up in rooms I didn't remember walking into. Sometimes staring into that closet door, already ajar. It wasn't hurting me anymore. It was inhabiting me. I still refused to believe it. This demon wanted me to leave behind everyone who could protect me. And it succeeded. At 18, I ran into the arms of the first person who promised escape. And he became abusive, possessive. Exactly what that demon needed. Isolation. The day I ran away, my parents called the police. They video called me. My parents were crying, screaming, and I felt nothing. Not a damn thing. Years later, my mother confessed that when she saw me on the phone that day, my eyes were black, deep black. It had already gotten my soul. During those years, the shadows vanished. No voices, no figures, no nightmares, because it already had me. At 19, I started exploring dark symbols and rituals, drawn to them like gravity. I told myself it was just the aesthetic. I chose a tattoo, a sigil, one that felt like it picked me out of the book, one that I couldn't get out of my head. The moment the needle sank into my skin, I froze. The tattoo machine spluttered against the artist's hands and moved mechanically. His voice warped like a record melting in fire, and I mentally blacked out. I felt an oppression, a satisfied oppression. It got me. I couldn't even scream. I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. Inside that suffocating silence, I knew what I'd done, but I couldn't process it. When the tattoo was done, the room snapped back. Bright lights, normal sounds. But I knew something final had happened. The demon branded me. Not a tattoo, a mark of ownership. The relationship collapsed soon after, and the man whom I'd been planning my whole life with and loved more than anything became mentally and physically abusive. He began cheating. He changed. He fell into alcoholism and had multiple failed, unaliving attempts. I mentally went downhill and stayed with him for another 5 months until one night. Me and my then ex-fiancé had gotten into our first domestic fight. One that shattered me to my core, where I genuinely thought, this is it. I fell to my knees on our bedroom floor and I screamed. Not cried, not begged, screamed. God, please help me. I can't do this anymore. I'm sorry for ignoring you, willingly pushing you away. Kill me or save me. I can't keep going alone. In that moment, over a decade of pain and suffering roared out of my body. I cried and begged for hours, almost like God knew in my soul that I was done running from his grace. My phone rang. On the screen, it said it was my aunt who helped raise me. Her house was one of my only escapes as a child. I answered, a blubbering mess. In my tears, I hardly made sense. And she immediately goes, "We're coming to get you." A week later, they made it out to Maryland with their big car empty, ready for my things. I moved back to Missouri without telling my parents. Ashamed for the choices I'd made, the hurt we'd all caused each other through the years. 3 days after I arrived, I called my mum. They welcomed me home, open arms, peace. My parents didn't recognize who I'd became. Hollow-eyed, jumpy, constantly scanning corners like prey, exhausted, bruised, scared. I settled back into home, a house they'd moved to in a rural area of Missouri, the one I ran away from months after turning 18. I felt like I was still going on autopilot. They'd started going to a Catholic priest as a spiritual advisor after I ran away. I found out he'd kept telling my parents, just be patient. God is doing this in his time. And he was right. I'd be back ready to humble myself in God's arms. A couple of weeks after I moved back, I did a lot of research into the Catholic Church. I found so many things explaining what and why I went through everything I did. I also found that demons can brand people with certain tattoos. So I requested a minor exorcism. It was performed over the tattoo. The mark that was never just ink. As they prayed, I felt an almost uncountable anger spraying from my gut, that I just wanted to strangle them all, to shut up, to make it stop, to end this. The minor exorcism continued. My arm felt like it was on a sandwich press until it stopped. As the Latin started, I felt so much remorse, so much sadness at the things I'd done. Over a decade of pain felt forgiven. I sobbed uncontrollably. I hugged the head priest as I sobbed, thanking him, thanking God. Peace was so overwhelming that I didn't even feel worthy of it. The room felt warm for the first time since I was a young child. The demon left me that day. It lost its hold on my soul, because now, years later, I'm finally me. The me God planned me to be. The one that was hidden from me, coated with hell and darkness. So for now, peace is still here. I'm an avid churchgoer now, a sentence I never thought I'd say. Chunks of my life I still can't piece together. Maybe, God willing, I will someday. My father did put together all of our experiences into a book format. However, we don't sell or promote it. We give it to those who struggle. And I say this to show this is no sales or promotion gimmick. I don't want any of our experiences to seem fabricated, because that's not the point of him writing it all down. If you wish, I can send in some submissions from the book, if it's something you and your listeners would like to hear. As I say, we don't sell this, we give it to people who need help. Thank you for reading my summarized experience. It's the first time I've ever remotely tried writing it down. So thank you for giving me an outlet to do so. Bella. Well, Bella, I am literally taken back by this minisode, and I will tell you why. Simply because if I didn't believe it, I would not believe it, and I will explain that sentence now. It almost seems very tropey. Yet, for me anyway, the amount of validating experiences, or what I call validators, within your account overrule anything which I would doubt as fabricated, as you say, etc. I 100% believe your experience. And I do think I speak for the majority of our listeners when I say we would absolutely be grateful to receive any excerpts from your book or from your father's book. The fact it's given away to people who need help, for me, is one of those validators. It's what I've mentioned on a previous episode about how Robbie Mannheim, the boy who was obviously the inspiration behind The Exorcist, why has he never stepped forward? He could be a multimillionaire by now. Instead, he chose to never face that darkness again, despite the offer of literally millions of pounds. And although I have several differing, both pros and cons, opinion-wise, of the Lutzes with Amityville, it cannot be discounted. After their haunting, within months, one of the first things they done was try to seek publicity and fame. Yet, there is a certain type of darkness, it would appear, that no matter how much potential money may be on the table, it's almost viewed as dark money, and the individuals involved would sooner do anything but reach out for that cash. And for me, once again, that's a huge validator. So Bella, genuinely, thank you for such an emotional, heartbreaking, heartwarming, and terrifying minisode for this week. As ever, thanks to each and every one of you guys listening right now for making this show what it is. And if you can't join our Patreon, don't worry about that. That's completely understandable in today's society. But by all means, please help us out by subscribing to the show, sharing the show, or leaving a nice comment or review. Everything helps. In the meantime, I'll speak to you on Friday for episode 6 of The Dark Paranormal. And until then, stay safe and take care.
Marriott Bonvoy is the official hotel partner of US Soccer. Join Marriott Bonvoy today to get closer to the game with exclusive perks, unforgettable experiences, and benefits that go beyond the pitch. Spring Hill Suites, part of Marriott Bonvoy, offers complimentary hot breakfast and spacious all-suite accommodations, perfect for the whole team, with room for up to 6 guests. Make your next getaway a win. Learn more at springhillsuites.marriott.com.